So how can I do a competitor analysis, Daniel?
There are lots and lots of free tools that can help with this, and they kind of divide into a few different areas, I guess. We could look at those.
So what about with web analytics?
Yeah, you've got your own web analytics. The problem is you haven't got web analytics for your competitors. So I quite often get this with some of my students where we go, right, can I have the Google Analytics for this competitor? And it's like, no, they're not going to give you that. So what you have got is tools like SimilarWeb. And SimilarWeb, although it's estimated, will basically give you web analytics for somebody else's website. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And it's based on a whole load of sources of data. So definitely worth taking a look at SimilarWeb.
And so what about social activity?
I think probably the best one for this is competitors.app. What it allows you to do is go through, put your own website in, put your competitors' websites in, and it does a range of different things. It'll even look at emails, but it will track all of their social media posts, which ones are getting engagement. It will benchmark it against your ones. And it basically gives you a really nice dashboard of like what you're doing, what they're doing, and what's working and what's not.
It also tracks any changes that they've made on their website,
Yeah, I love
any of
this.
the pages. That's really telling it, because you step back and you get these weekly reports and like, well, why have they done that? Oh, that's interesting.
Or maybe we could be doing a bit of that.
Yeah.
And so what about keyword research?
So there's a few tools. I mean, Kieran, you use a lot of these.
Yeah, I mean, things like SEM Rush, SE Ranking.
So SEM Rush is on the pricier side of things. SE Ranking is
SE
a lower
Ranking is a
cost side
much
of
more
things.
affordable one. They both do a similar thing. When it comes to looking at your competitors, you put in the URL and it will literally, admittedly, all of it's scraped data, and there's a lot of calculations like bespoke to each of these platforms that they make on your behalf. They're not necessarily brilliant at getting exact numbers, but what I find with these kind of spy tools, they're always very good at spotting trends. You can see,
that's right.
and you get breakdowns of, well, how much organic traffic are they getting and on which keywords, and what pages does that get driven through to. You can see things like what they're doing with their paid search, what keywords are they spending heavily on, and which ones are they ranking highly. Some of the better ones even give you a breakdown of, what search engine result page features are they getting for all of these keywords. You get lovely little diagrams of little icons that show you which ones they're getting, which one, and you can benchmark yourself within those. So what I always say to people, the numbers are never terribly accurate, because you could only get that if you had access to everyone's analytics, and we can't do that. But actually using these spy tools, if you can generally very often see a trend, upward trend or a downward trend, and those trends are true because they're recognizing that within the pattern of data that is scrapable. And from that perspective, it's very, very useful. Definitely, you can certainly unpick, what the kind of channel mix is with these tools, and how your competitors are approaching things. And you can also see when they change direction. And that, again, can be, cause for step back and think, what's going on here?
Yeah, I think the key thing is that if you're going to do this, you need to use a range of tools. Just because none of them are 100% accurate, but as Kieran says, you start to see the trends and you can start to untangle and come up with some theories about how you might apply some of these ideas as well.